It's that time of the year again for you guys. Very exciting. I'm sure the office is buzzing with just having the
Phone
website up
calls.
and running, taking in applications. So the
Yeah.
2024 bursary applications have just opened. So tell us more about the bursary, who qualifies, who can apply, and how ISFAP chooses who they want to fund.
Okay, so ISFAP is Ikusasa Student Financial Aid Program. It is a non-profit organization that funds missing middle students. And how we determine missing middle students, we look at households that have an income of between 350,000 Rand per annum to 600,000 Rand per annum. Those are the families that are considered to not be poor enough for NSFAS, but they in reality cannot afford tertiary education out of pocket. So that's where ISFAP comes in. And what we do is we fund first-time university registrants. So it has to be your first time at a tertiary institution, and you must be registered for an undergraduate degree. So we don't fund postgrad. And yeah, so we opened our applications on the 1st of June. It's been a fun 2 days. So we opened our applications, and we only accept applications online. So if a student is interested in applying for an ISFAP bursary, they need to visit applyonline.isfap.org.za. So that is where they can put in their applications for the program. And basically it depends on whether or not you've applied for a program that we currently fund at an institution that we currently available at, because we are not at all the institutions in the country. We are at certain universities, but the online platform will guide you in terms of whether or not you are applying at an institution that ISFAP is currently available at. And then in terms of qualification, it's just that missing middle part. And in terms of attachments, because the application needs to be complete for us to be able to verify it and then submit it for consideration. So when a requirement says it needs an affidavit or a certified document, it's important that you ensure that those documents are certified, and you look at the dates, because we need a recently certified document. Make sure that when you capture your ID number, you take your time and you capture it correctly, that you capture your guardian's ID numbers correctly, because these are things that make applications invalid. And it's unnecessary mistakes that can cost the person an opportunity. We do our own verification processes internally, where we would then send you an email to say your application was not valid due to the incorrect ID number or due to a document that was not valid. So I would like to urge students to please just take your time and ensure that the documents that you've submitted are correct and are valid, so that your application is able to be processed. And in terms of how we decide, we look at past the application process requirements, we then look at your matric results. So we look at your average in terms of DHET information or IEB information. So we are able to source that data from the department, and we're able to then sort the students according to performance. So basically that's how it works.
That's great. And I'm pretty sure students that are interested to know would be happy to know that the application process is so simple, the online platform that you guys have created. Until when do students have to submit the applications? When does the applications close?
So we normally close on the last day of October every year. So yeah. So they've
got a couple of months. They have a couple of months to submit the application.
They have 5 months to put in their application. They don't lose applications that they have started. So this also helps us to avoid a duplication of
Yes.
applications from students. So you don't lose a started application, you can just
So
continue
that
from
you
there.
can continue if
Yeah.
you've maybe
So if you use connectivity, for example,
yes.
or you need to go get a document signed or certified, you can just log out, and when you log back in, your data will still be there.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I'm pretty sure you guys have already received a bunch of applications. The ISFAP Bursary is truly one of a kind. I mean, you guys are bridging a gap that is so massive.
Exactly.
So I can only imagine. I can really only imagine.
I can give you a high level.
Yes.
As of yesterday, we were yesterday morning, we were at 757 applications.
Oh, wow.
Just 2 days after starting.
757. That's good. That's amazing. Yeah. Can you give us a wrap around about the ISFAP Bursary and what support ISFAP provides to students other than just the normal tuition fees, what they cover, but like just the wraparound of what support they provide to students?
So we pride ourselves in not only looking after the academic needs of our students, but also ensuring that they're supported psychosocially. And psychosocially, we mean mental health support. We mean they have a dedicated program manager at the university that is there for them to speak to if they have an issue. We have tutor support. If that's what they need, they can say, I need a tutor for this particular subject. We do life skills in terms of time management and financial literacy programs. So we try by all means to cover all the bases so that all they have to do is just study and pass. And on the academic side, we fund full tuition. We fund accommodation. If it's at the university, it's fully paid. Private accommodation is subject to a cap that is revised annually. We give meal allowances, cash allowances. First years receive laptops. So we try by all means to ensure that they are fully supported. And we are not just looking at one aspect of their studies, because if we are going to ensure that we produce as many graduates as possible, we need to also ensure that the environment that we are placing them in only requires them to just focus on their studies and not have the weight of other things on them. And that's the reason why we place a lot of importance on the mental health support, on the availability of counselors and psychologists, because we know there will be family issues that are not related to study. So we try by all means to say the environment you go back to when you go home, or the environment that you are in when they call or they text or something happens, we try to cushion the fall and say there is support, we can try and walk this path with you. So it's a very balanced program in terms of the support that we offer to the students.
So it's not just giving you funding and off you
and
go,
then sending you out into the world.
You're basically holding their hand.
Definitely, that's a beautiful explanation of it. Is we walk it with them. We don't just talk the talk.
Walk the journey.
We walk it.
That's amazing. So you were just now telling me about some of the numbers that you guys received. Is there an amount of like a cap that you guys, okay, so we've received 1,000 applications, we cut off now. How many bursaries do you offer a year? Is there a specific number?
Not at all. So how ISFAP is funded is we are majority privately funded, and then we do get some funding from a few seaters. So that means we are driven by funder requirements. So there is no number that we set annually to say these are the students that we are going to take and this is where we are capping it. So in the 5 months window of applications, everyone applies. Whoever is valid is processed, and then depending on the commitments we then get from our funders for the year, that's what drives the amount of students that we can take. And it's unfortunate that it is never all of the students that apply that we can cater to. So the gap is really still that big in terms of the needs of the missing middle students.
So I was going to ask, how does ISFAP funding work, since you guys are not government. You don't receive much support from government. How do you guys get funding to support these students?
So we have a fundraising department. In the fundraising department, we are essentially professional beggars in a way on behalf of our students. So we approach private entities and ask for funding on behalf of our students. And then depending on what they feel would benefit, and also looking at the occupations in high demand at that point in time, we then approach funders and say, here we have a program that's thriving, we have a program that has students that need support. The risk is cushioned by us being there as ISFAP to ensure that you get value for your money, and you ensure that you contribute to the economy by ensuring that we produce well-rounded professionals at the end of their studies. So that's what we do. We approach private funders, we approach some public funders, and ask for funding on behalf of our students.
That's really amazing. Okay, so right now you guys are only offering funding to students that are enrolled at 11 out of the 26 universities in South Africa. Will ISFAP, are there any plans to include or onboard more universities, or maybe even more courses that are offered? Are there any plans in place?
So the topic of courses compared to institutions is different, because courses are dynamic. They're going to change, because if we are focusing on occupations in high demand, you've seen what AI, data science, and data analysis, how popular it has become. So that change is inevitable, that we are going to constantly have courses that change. And since we are driven by funder requirements, it's going to happen that we're going to add courses. Like we've added some data science courses, data analysis, in response to the fourth industrial revolution, in response to developments in artificial intelligence, for example. So courses are going to change. They do change every year. The institution topic is a different one, because that needs more commitment. That needs more sustainable funding. Do you understand? In building those relationships, sustaining those relationships. So we definitely would like to expand, but at the moment we have no plans in the short term to expand into other institutions.
But there is hope. There is hope that more funders are on board, so that you guys can conquer all 26 universities.
Definitely. There's always hope. With what our objective is, we are always hopeful that we'll get more support and we'll get more funders that will then enable us to spread our wings into other institutions, because you don't want to appear as being selective in how you are running your program. But the reality of it all is the financial situation in the country as a whole is something that's to be funded on. It's not great. So we therefore have to be careful in how we commit, or in the expectations that we create as well. So we need to be realistic in terms of what is sustainable at the moment and what's affordable at the moment. And expansion in the short term is not what we foresee at the moment.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found out what you need to know about the ISFAP Bursary. Whether this is your first time even hearing about it, we will have all ISFAP's information in the description below if you need to know more about the bursary. And you can also check out our last interview with ISFAP and our other ISFAP videos if you want to know more about their amazing offerings. We also have a bunch of information based on ISFAP on our website, www.careersportal.co.za. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.